Shalom to all my brothers and sisters. Really briefly, I want to discuss a question that gets brought up many times, and it's a very, very good question. The question about Tefillin in general. Phylacteries. Orthodox Jews wear phylacteries. Many will question the Karaites. Why don't you guys wear the phylacteries? Why don't you guys follow these traditions? Now, the only answer I can give is a scriptural argument to this. We believe that it's clear, based on the scriptures, that these are not to be taken literally, they are to be taken figuratively. Now let me give you the examples. The phrase which allegedly commands the donning of Tefillin appears 4 times in the Torah. That's Exodus chapter 3, verse 9, Exodus chapter 13, verse 16, Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 8 through 9, and Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 18. It should be noted that the difficult word totafot, which the rabbis arbitrarily interpret to mean tefillin, actually means remembrance. Remembrance. This is clear from Exodus chapter 13, verse 9. Please write this down. It will be helpful to look this up for yourself, not to believe a word I say, because what I say means nothing. The only opinion that matters, like I say in most of my videos, I want to say it in every video. I don't want you to believe me. It doesn't matter what I say. Pick up your Tanakh, pause the video, write down the scriptures I quote, and look it up for yourself, because, again, my interpretation means nothing. But if you look in Tanakh and see that what I'm quoting is correct, then there's more seriousness in the things that I say. So here we go. For example, Exodus chapter 13, verse 9, one of the 4 Tefillin passages, which substitutes the word totafot, which is the equivalent but more familiar zicharon, which means remembrance. For a sign upon your hand, according to its plain meaning, omek peshuto, it shall be remembered always as if it had been written upon your hand. Similar to, he put me as a seal upon your heart. This is in Incantations, chapter 8, verse 6. Between your eyes, like a piece of jewelry or gold chain, which people put on their forehead for decoration. You find this in, for example, in Exodus chapter 13, verse 9. The Rambam actually quotes this from Exodus chapter 13, verse 9. Rashi's grandson rightfully interprets the Tefillin passage as a metaphor, correctly, as Karaites do, which demands that we remember the Torah always and treasure it like a piece of fine jewelry. The Rashbam and the Karaites realize that not everything in the Torah is to be taken literally as a command. We know this. The classic example of this, and you shall circumcise the foreskin of your heart. This is in Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 16. Does this mean literally to circumcise the heart itself, get surgery? No, it does not. It's figurative. Okay? That's the point. We have to look through all these things and think rationally. Now, if you don't believe in this and you follow the traditions, that's I have to respect that. But I'm giving the Karaite point of view based on these understandings, based on Tanakh, which is the most important thing to a Karaite. A true Karaite is following Tanakh according to what is written. Obviously, Elohim is not commanding mass suicide, but is rather commanding us to figuratively, when he says circumcise or the foreskin of your heart, he's not telling you to commit suicide or to harm yourself. He's trying to obviously give you a commandment that's figurative about circumcising the foreskin of your hearts, i.e., remove our impurity, our stubbornness, and commit to his covenant with our hearts. Period. That's the point. While this metaphor was easy to understand, it is less obvious what kind of metaphor lies behind, and it shall be a sign upon your hand and a remembrance before your eyes, or between your eyes. This question is clarified by several passages elsewhere in Tanakh. For example, Proverbs chapter 1, verses 8 through 9. What does it say there? It says, "Listen, my son, to the teaching of your father. Do not abandon the Torah of your mother, because it is a beautiful wreath upon your head and a necklace round your throat." Another example, Proverbs chapter 3, verse 3. "Let not the truth and righteousness leave you. Tie them upon your throat. Write them on the tablet of your heart." Does this mean you have to get a surgery, get tattooed on your heart, something? No, it's figurative. That's what we're trying to make you understand here. Where our views come from. It's from Tanakh itself. We don't just read one passage and say, there's the commandment. Let's go. Give me something. Let me wrap my hand. No. Let's go throughout the Tanakh. Let's go to other places so we can get a clear understanding. This is where the miscommunication and the misunderstandings come up. Where rabbinical Jews will basically say, well, if you guys just read the Tanakh and interpret for yourselves, then you guys just make up the rules anywhere you go. Like when I had my conversation with Asher Meza. He was saying, you guys just make up stuff as you go. If everybody's making up their own... No, we don't go randomly picking random regulations and decide for ourselves. We go through the entire Tanakh. The whole thing. Study the Tanakh. And the Tanakh is the focus. Tanakh alone is the focus. That doesn't mean we just open up a passage and go, oh, well, it seems like we got to wrap something around our hand. We got to put something on our forehead. No. We go, let's go throughout Tanakh and see what else is said about this kind of thing. Is it really metaphoric or not? When you go through Tanakh, you see that there's a lot of problems with taking everything literally or certain things literally. We have to decipher. For example, in the book of Daniel, Daniel prays 3 times a day in the window. Now, many Orthodox Jews will say, look, there you go. There's the Talmud. He was praying 3 times a day. And a Karaite would say, wait a minute. It also says in the book of Psalms that King David prayed 7 times a day. Is that in the Talmud? No, it's not. So which is it, 3 or 7? We cannot go with man-made biases when it comes to understanding. When you think that you figured out the Karaites, you can't say that because we base this on careful study of Tanakh. Careful studies. I'm just stating where a Karaite's point of view is, because we will get this even from our brothers and sisters of the Orthodox community. They'll say, this is ridiculous. It's like a free-for-all. It's not a free-for-all. No, we don't have our own Talmud. No, we don't have our own traditions. The traditions we have are not mandatory where you have to obey this. No, the traditions are based on Tanakh. And if somebody, who cares who they are, teacher or not, if they state something and it's not based on Tanakh clearly, you reject it. Nobody can just grab a Tanakh, claim to be a Karaite, and just say, you know what, I'm inventing rules and regulations. And it's not clear in Tanakh. It's only based on clear and consistent passages. And that's it. If it's not clear, then anybody can make up anything. I could tell you that there's purple buffaloes outside. Where's the proof of that? Did I quote a passage from Tanakh to say this? I'm Karaite, I believe in purple buffaloes. No. Is it based on Tanakh? Yes or no? For example, I have a lot of beliefs that I have. I base on Tanakh. Here's another example. Proverbs chapter 6, verses 20 through 21. In light of the verses that I'm quoting here, for example, I just mentioned that one about write it upon the tablet of your heart, put it on your throat. Here's Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 8 through 9. And let these things which I command you, this is the statement that they use. In light of the verses that I just read to you, metaphorically, we understand that these were metaphor. Write it upon the tablet of your heart, put it around your throat, a wreath upon your head, obviously metaphor. Now let's go back to the passage that's used. And let these things which I command you today be upon your heart. You shall tie them for a sign upon your hand, and for a remembrance, totafot, between your eyes, and write them upon the doorposts of your houses and your gates. Metaphor after metaphor after metaphor. Now, if you take this literally, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not a sin. But I want to show you how the Karaite takes these passages. It's not a free-for-all. That's what I'm trying to get for any of you who believe in the Orthodox way, and I respect it very much. I'm trying to tell you from where we're coming from, no, it's not just random chaos. Base it on careful study of Tanakh.